When a consumer is choosing among brands, how do you understand that very important moment of truth?
That's a great question. Moment of truth has been on the forefront of everyone's thinking since Lafley and Procter and Gamble added 5 points of market share in 2003, switching their entire organizational focus to shopper marketing. But the worst thing about the first moment of truth, which is what happens in the aisle at the point of decision making when the purchase is made, is that it really makes all the brand marketers feel bad because they relegated to the second moment of truth, and nobody wants to be in charge of the second moment of truth. But really it brings up an interesting point, is that you have two marketing disciplines here. You've got brand marketing, which works off of a bullseye target, almost like a pebble in a pond, where targeting very specifically with a very singular message is supposed to ripple out to even the most casual user. Whereas in the store, you don't have that advantage of being able to be so selective with your target and so singular with your message. You're appealing to oftentimes a consumer segmentation that was done by the retailer themselves.
It's a point of purchase issue.
It's a point of purchase issue, and you can't disregard even the most casual user, even though they may not be in your the hemisphere of the brand segment that you're going after. So you can't ignore anyone, and it's a different set of circumstances by which they're choosing. So the question comes up oftentimes is how do we merge these two disciplines? How do we understand the consumer and the shopper in the same breath? Is it the same person? Is it the same person playing a different role? Is the shopper buying the product as a gift to the family to give, or is the shopper going to consume the product? So these things we wrestle with on a daily basis, and there's great headway that's been made. I think our company has done a lot here at Frito-Lay to try to merge brand marketing and shopper marketing, and we may have to come up with new terms in the future to be able to converge and to build capabilities that work more fluidly between the two. But we've done some great things, some great examples with what we've done with Target and Walmart. We've got shopper segmentations now that are driving some of the brand consumer work, and so we've got a lot of learnings that we can share. But it still begs the question of what do you do with the two disciplines and how do you merge them together?
Well, with brand loyalties sometimes eroding, how do you hold on to your own people, let alone attract samplers?
Well, that's right. If you go chasing rabbit holes to try to find the new user that may not stay, you could be in big trouble. And I think we've seen some beverage brands recently as they've taken credit for incredible volume growth that's come in the shopper environment. They find themselves now being eroded by someone who they never intended to be their target in the first place. Mm-hmm. So now they're wrestling with the question of, do we go back to our brand beginnings and start again with that pebble in the center of the pond, or do we continue to try to be, I guess, a more iconic, a more broadly appealing brand? But those are, again, the questions that we're wrestling with. The holy grail here is a unification of the two models, is to have one sort of theory of branding. I mean, you have one brand asset, or one group of assets that you have, and you can only have that one thing. And what is that one thing going to be? So the unification of these disciplines will tell us, will inform at least the strategy that will work when you're reinforcing the beliefs around usage. They'll work when you're in store recalling what that last usage delivered to you, and will work for the benefit of the retailer, will work for the benefit of the brand. Right now we have two distinct disciplines. We have the brand targeting the consumer at home at the second moment of truth, and then we have these shopper teams, often very close to the sales teams, working with the retailer. And while we're trying to figure all this out, the retailer is growing in stature, it's growing in power. The retailer has gone from sort of being a warehouse of brands to being a gatekeeper, from being a gatekeeper to being an experience provider, and many times going from an experience provider to being a brand. So, what they sell says something about their equity.
Sam's.
Yeah. So, we learned this a long time ago in food service with restaurants. They're experience providers, and their equity is affected by what they offer. In the future, our retailers is there going to be a message with being associated with a particular retailer? So think today, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Target, what they sell and what they don't sell, whether you're there or whether you're not, says something about you. At first Whole Foods didn't want anything from Frito-Lay. Didn't matter how healthy it was, because it says something about their brand equity. In the future, are these gatekeeper brands going to tell you, I don't want your product, I don't care how much it delivers, because it destroys my brand equity? So these are the sorts of things, as the retailers gain power and build branding, that we have to figure out now, is how do we integrate and almost co-brand in many cases with the retailer, joining the brands together with a common consumer goal.